So I like that. Here's Duffner, same thing. So for me, basically the same thing. He's a little forward there, a little forward there, a little forward there, but close. So I like that. I mean, to me, I like using that as the axis of the swing, as opposed to using the head or using a spot at the top of at the base of the neck. I don't like that because I don't see, that's not where the most amount of rotation occurs, or should occur. So that's why I use that. Okay, shoulder action. This will be, Doc, I'm counting on you researching all this stuff. Tell me whether I'm wrong or right on it. All right? Huh? Come on, you got to tell me. You know, it's interesting. Everybody says, well, how old are you, Chuck? Oh, I'm 70. Oh, well, you're a cute little man, and, that's really, I'm sure you're out there saying, keep your head still, keep your left arm straight, this, that, and the other. But my generation is the one that went through all of this technology. We're the ones that started. In 1980, I had a golf academy that had, we had Dick Coop in our golf academy and golf psychology. This is 1980. We had Al Vermeil, who was the premier strength coach in the world at the time, as our fitness guy. We had Dave Pells doing our short game and club fitting. And we had Ralph Mann doing our biomechanical analysis. In fact, you'll like this, Doc. We'd have the students come into this golf school, we'd do a biomechanical analysis. So they had dots on both sides of the wrist, the middle knuckle, and then the middle finger, middle knuckle, down both sides of the elbow, both sides of the shoulder, the hip, and so forth. Had all these dots. And so when the report came back, it just told you how far each dot was off from the model. And so it was totally useless. You'd have a book this thick, because you had 10 positions, face on, 10 positions down the line. So you'd have a book this thick telling you the variances of all of these dots that they had from the model. And it was totally useless. I mean, we learned some stuff in research, but it was interesting. So a lot of this stuff, I mean, this is why, when I talk to him, I want to know, I always want to know. I'm real curious. I want to know. I have reasons. I'm trying to give you the reasons why I chose all of these things as my model swing. But if somebody proves me wrong, I have no problem at all in changing, if you can prove me that something else is better. And a lot of this is based on my pseudoscience that I have in dealing with biomechanical people that I've talked to, golf professionals that are pseudoscientists as well, and then talking to some real scientists too, trying to confirm some of the things that we're talking about with here. So I'm never closed-minded on all that. Okay, shoulder action. So what I see with shoulder action, I hear a lot of people say, well, shoulders turn at right angles to the spine. But I don't really see that. So what I say, this is your spine. And what I see at address, generally, on average, you'd probably have about a 5-degree tilt to the right of the spine. And then you'd have an additional 10-degree tilt to the shoulders. The shoulders would be tilted 10 degrees to the spine. They don't start at right angles to the spine. They start at about a 10-degree tilt. And so the reason for that is because the left hand or the lead hand is higher than the trail hand. So in order for that to fit, that's the way that's done. And so what happens is, as you rotate your spine to the right, like that, there's your backswing. You lose your forward bend, but you basically keep saying that backswing shoulder turn looks real flat there. So it looks real flat, that shoulder turn does. All right? And so then when I come down, there's a little shift. The hips do move forward. And then as I rotate back, the shoulder turn looks real vertical. It looks mega vertical. Okay? Because I'm not square at impact, my shoulders are open. And so that shoulder turn looks real vertical coming through. I like that. I've made a lot of money telling people to pull their back shoulder back over their back heel and then try to get their back shoulder to go directly at the ball. So that's a golfing machine shoulder action preference called flat back on plane down shoulder action. So I like that. I see that. I see that in a lot of good players. Stenson, Kuchar, Jordan Spieth. You know, the guys that have a deep tilt like this, then I see them have to work hard on really pulling that left shoulder up and out of the way coming through just to get back to where they need to be at impact. So when I see that, I see a lot of that. So what I prefer to see is that, and then I like to see that, and then from there to the target. That's my preference in shoulder action. And so my feeling is that the main purpose of the shoulders on the backswing is to move the club in, and then to move it on plane down. If the shoulder's going at the ball, that shaft will lay right on that shoulder and drive into the ball, and it seems like you get your maximum energy that way. Let's see if I can show you some pictures. Okay, so here's Tiger's shoulder turn at the top. This is 2002 when he won the Masters. And you can see where the top of where his shoulders are pointing. They're pointed way, way above the ball. And then here is impact, and you can see where his shoulders are pointing. They're pointed way down at the ball. His shoulders are actually inside the ball because he gets that head drop, and his shoulders get even a little too vertical sometimes. But you don't see them turning at the same plane. Then you see, here's Hunter Mahan, a more modern player, modern times. You see where the shoulders are pointing. It's impact, after impact.